Welcome to our GSMA visual guide showing you the Quectel BC66 Narrowband IoT Communications module. In this video, I'm going to give you an overview of Narrowband IoT, and I'm going to unbox and use the BC66 evaluation board for some simple communications. But first, what is Narrowband IoT? Well, mobile communications have been used for many years for machine-to-machine communications. This started with 2G networks where SMS and mobile data were used and has developed through 3G and 4G. But those networks were not specifically designed for machine-to-machine communications, or what we now think of as the IoT. Narrowband IoT is one of two technologies that were built specifically for IoT solutions. The other one is LTE-M, and together they're known as mobile IoT technologies. Both build on existing mobile networks with features that deliver much better power efficiency, suitable for long-life battery-powered devices. There's also improved coverage that benefits applications such as in-building IoT devices and wide area coverage. Mobile IoT is widely available and supported by a vast ecosystem of leading mobile operators and their partners. I'm using a Quectel module and the Vodafone network for this guide. But a lot of what I'm showing you today is actually representative for other setups as well that use different modules and different network operators. In this box, I have a BC66 evaluation board from Quectel, and I'm going to connect it to the Vodafone narrowband network in the UK. So what can we see here? Well, we've got some brief instructions, and this is the evaluation board, and underneath we have, of course, a USB cable and an external antenna. So here on the board, you can see the BC66 module itself. Now this covers a total of 16 frequency bands used by mobile networks around the world. And so the BC66 supports global coverage. The board also has an Arduino interface so that it can be incorporated into embedded projects. So that's what these connectors are here. So we're going to see how to get this all connected. First, I'm going to insert the Vodafone SIM card. This is a special SIM card for the Vodafone Narrowband IoT network. It's not something you can buy from the usual retailers. You'll normally need to either contact Vodafone directly or get the right kind of SIM card from one of their specialist distributors. There will be details at the end of this video with further information. You can see this is a nano SIM card. And for the Quectel evaluation board, it requires a micro SIM. So I'm going to use an adapter. And that's the adapter. So what I'm going to do is take the SIM card out, put that the right way into the SIM card adapter, and then push that into the evaluation board. So there we go. That's connected. Next, I'm going to connect the antenna. And I'm going to connect the USB cable to the evaluation board. There are actually two USB sockets on the evaluation board. The main interface is this one, the one that's recessed. The other here is a logging interface. So for this demonstration, I'm just going to use the main interface. Okay, before I connect to the PC, I'm going to install the software needed to use the Quectel evaluation board. I need Quectel software as well as drivers for the USB interface from Silicon Labs. To make it easier, I've saved the two URLs I need in a Word document, so I'm going to open that first. Now I'm going to download the Quectel software and documentation. As this is taking a while, I'll also download the Silicon Labs drivers for the USB connection. So, I have the download and I need to extract the zip file. And then next, I will run the installer for the drivers. That's done. Now, just waiting for the Quectel software to finish downloading. I'm now going to extract the Quectel software and documentation. What I'm interested in is the QCOM utility tool that allows me to use the low-level AT commands to interact with the BC66 module. So I'll extract this into the current directory. This gives me the executable and the user guide. Now I'm going to connect the module up to my laptop and check that the hardware has been recognized and the drivers installed properly. I'll use the Windows Device Manager to check this. You can see that there are multiple ports installed. I won't go into the details except to say the one I'll be using to send the AT commands is interface 0, which is identified as COM7. Now I'm going to open the Quectel QCOM utility. This utility allows modem-style AT commands to be entered and run as if connected to the board using a terminal. You can see on the right-hand side it's possible to define and run AT command sequences, which can be saved and loaded from configuration files. I'll show you more about this later. You can also enter ad hoc AT commands and see the responses. First, you can see the port I want to connect to is interface 0 on the BC66 evaluation board, or COM7. So I choose that in the drop-down menu. Next, I open the port, and I press the power button and the reset button on the module. You can see a trace from the module boot. Now I'm going to use the command to get information from the board, ATI. I'll also need to make sure an enter is sent with the command too. Having typed the command ATI, I press the send command button. And I can see the output identifying the manufacturer, product name BC66, and the current firmware revision. So next I'm going to run through a longer sequence of commands, which I've already saved to a command script that can be used in the QCOM utility. I'll do this step by step and explain as I go along. The first thing I'm going to do is load the command script into the QCOM utility. You can see a list of the AT commands I'm going to use, and I've grouped them into sections. Now I need to open the communications port again as I close down the application. I'll also reset the module. I want to ensure commands are locally echoed using the ATE1 command. So, getting the information about the board manufacturer, model, and firmware revision using the ATI command. Display the ICC ID, which is the serial number of the SIM card, using the QCC ID command. The serial number of the Quectel BC66 module using the CGSN equals 0 command, and the IMEI of the Quectel BC66 module using the CGSN equals 1 command. Finally, the International Mobile Subscriber Identity, or IMSI, associated with the SIM card using the CIMI command. The next thing I want to do just for now is to stop the module going to sleep or automatically entering power saving mode. This is just while I show and talk through this example. In a real application, you'd normally want to save power. So I can disable power saving mode by sending the command cp sms equals 0 and prevent the module going to sleep using the command qs clk equals 0. Now, to give a bit more information on what the module is doing as it connects to the network, I'm going to enable some of the Quectel logging options. The CE-reg command outputs the network registration status. Setting this to the value 5 will output power saving mode, registration status, and location information as this changes. The CS-con command displays the signaling connection status, either idle or connected. Setting to the value 1 will cause status updates to be output. And finally, setting the NB-IoT event report variable displays status updates related to narrowband IoT power saving mode. Now I'm going to get the Quectel BC66 to connect to the Vodafone network. With narrowband IoT, it can be configured to operate across a very wide range of mobile frequency bands. In this case, I know that the Vodafone UK network operates in band 20, so I can speed up the connection time. Usually the device will cache this information, so once it's been connected, the next time it will reconnect quickly. For the first connection, it might take a few minutes to find the network in each of the available frequency bands, so it makes sense in this case to speed up the process. The command qband allows me to specify the band or bands that I want to search for a network. In this case, I want to set the first search band to be 20. The command qcgdef-cont allows me to specify the default access point name or APN for the mobile data connection. You might have set the APN on mobile devices in the past, and for narrowband IoT, this can be used to identify private networks. In this case, I'm setting it for Vodafone's default narrowband IoT network. At this point, the device is searching for an available network. When this is found, it will output the status messages I enabled earlier. I can also check the connection status myself. For example, the CESQ command will output the extended signal quality. The QEng command enables a more detailed engineering mode output, and the cgat command allows me to query the current data connection attachment status. The value 0 means the BC66 is not yet attached to the network. If I use the cgp addr command, I can check the IP address that's been allocated to the device. In this case, there's no current IP address as the device hasn't yet connected. And I can also attempt a DNS lookup request to the GSMA web server using the qi-dns-gip command. This displays an error, which is what I was expecting. At this point, I'm going to have to wait a little while longer for the device to connect. Okay, it looks like the device is in the process of connecting, as there's an engineering mode status update. My DNS lookup is still not completing though, so I don't have an IP connection yet. Looks like I'll have to wait just a little bit longer. Remember, this is really just the first time a new device powers on. The device has indicated it now has a connection because it's showing CS-con with a value of 1. I'm also seeing a registration update message. Importantly, this is showing the status value of 5, which indicates the device is registered as a roaming SIM card. Also, the IP address allocated to the device is being displayed. Now, if I leave this a little while, the data signaling connection will be dropped temporarily. This is to save power while the connection is not being used. I'm now going to check the IP address. And I'm going to attempt the DNS lookup again. This time, the command is accepted without an error. There, finally, is the IP address of GSMA's web server. So this confirms there's an active IP connection that can be used for services. So that's it. I'm going to end this visual guide at this point, but there will be a second part of this visual guide where I'll show you some more capabilities of the Quectel BC66 module, including power save mode operation, as well as sending data to servers. Many thanks to Quectel and to Vodafone for providing the hardware and SIM cards used in this visual guide. For any of you who are looking to implement IoT solutions needing a reliable connectivity option, check out the gsma.com/MIOTI website, as well as Quectel's modules and Vodafone's connectivity options.